guys, this is New Time on Silkway TV channel. We introduce you with the most notable news and important events that happened throughout this week in Kazakhstan, Central Asia and around the globe. Stay with us for more details on politics, the economy, social and cultural life with opinions from the most recognizable experts from Kazakhstan and around the world. I'm Nurbek Machani and this is what you will see today. Kazakhstan declares 2026 the year of digitalization and AI. How will this push change the country? Less than a month to the Milan Cortina Olympics. Who will represent Kazakhstan in Winter Games? Alexander Bublik wins the Hong Kong and enters ATP Top 10, a first for Kazakhstan. What's next? 2026 has been officially declared the year of digitalization and artificial intelligence in Kazakhstan. President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev has signed a decree, a move that signals that AI will become even more deeply embedded in the national economy. From public services and industry to education and startups, digital solutions are no longer the future. They are becoming a new normal. So how will this national digital push lead Kazakhstan into becoming a leader in this field? Let's see in the next report.
This year, the head of state has outlined a clear direction for the country toward the digital world. Kazakhstan has long been searching for its own competitive path to become a regional leader in technology and innovation. The head of state returned to this vision several times early in the year, beginning with his New Year address.
In my State of the Nation address, I stated the need to transform Kazakhstan into a digital state. I have decided to declare the coming year the year of digitalization and artificial intelligence. The introduction of advanced technologies will strengthen the country's potential across all sectors.
Later in an interview with a local newspaper, the president described the process as a new phase of modernization, one that will affect every sphere of the country, starting with the public sector itself. Today, Kazakhstan is running an active program to integrate AI solutions into ministries and government agencies. The idea is simple. Civil servants can either build their own chatbots or use a pre-made model to automate routine tasks and reduce manual workload. By the end of the year, developers plan to launch up to 50 AI assistants inside the system, and yet they emphasize even if AI performs specific tasks, responsibility remains with the human employee.
Я всегда говорю о том, что искусственный интеллект – это не финальный степ в принятии решений.
I always say that artificial intelligence is not the final step in decision-making. Any product, any report, or any written document we create using AI must be double-checked by a human. In other words, right before signing off or making a decision, the final word still belongs to the person. AI is an assistant, a helper. It is designed to speed things up, improve quality, and optimize work processes and business processes, but it's by no means meant to independently make decisions instead of human.
Но ни в коем случае он не создан автономно для того, чтобы принимать решения за человека.
Kazakhstan National Artificial Intelligence Platform has been designed with a user-friendly interface, making it easy for everyone to navigate and use. The national strategy is also aimed at strengthening the country's main economic engine, industry. From metallurgy and mechanical engineering to chemical production, companies are increasingly adopting digital tools that boost efficiency and create new demand for qualified specialists.
Overall, if we look beyond just Kazakhstan's industrial sector, we are seeing strong progress in GovTech, FinTech, and many ArtTech areas. Industry is no exception. The fact that thousands of enterprises are already using digital solutions shows that Kazakhstan has built up a solid base of specialists who can provide technological support and implement the necessary software. We already have companies such as PXR that are already rolling out large-scale robotics in Kazakhstan. Together with international partners, they are successfully integrating robots into production processes.
Specialized knowledge is essential for working in these sectors. Kazakhstan is set to establish a dedicated artificial intelligence university. The new institution will become a part of the Alem AI ecosystem and will be developed in cooperation with top international universities and technology companies. Today, AI-related courses have already been embedded in 95 universities, and more than half of the faculty members have completed AI upskilling and professional training courses.
The key goal is to provide 100% coverage of academic faculty with professional development development programs in artificial intelligence and to implement the next stage of the AI Sana program, reaching hundreds of thousands students. At the third and fourth stages, 1,500 projects will go through acceleration and will be brought to the market-ready level through Astana Hub.
And as the demand for the tech skills grows, Kazakhstan is also actively competing for talent. Like many other countries building a digital economy, the nation has launched a visa program for digital nomads, attracting IT specialists from abroad while strengthening its own ecosystem. At the same time, Kazakhstan's digital reputation is also being shaped by its own entrepreneurs. Kazakhstan tech startups, including those reaching unicorn status with valuations exceeding $1 billion, are entering global markets and climbing international rankings. Experts say Hicksfield is already becoming one of the key AI tools in cinematography. Other local projects with international reach include Alim, which is an AI-powered platform for learning English, or Deep Infra, which provides machine learning models and infrastructure, and Valiner Discovery, a biotech startup developing next-generational multimodal machine learning models. And these are only few examples. The list continues to grow rapidly. To sustain this momentum, the country is investing heavily in education and digital infrastructure. Behind me is Alem AI, an international AI center designed to become a magnet for global tech community and key platform for raising a new generation of leaders in high technologies. The facility aims to accelerate innovation by creating space for research, training, and the deployment of advanced solutions. With 8 floors of labs, universities, and development zones, Kazakhstan is positioning itself as an emerging producer of AI-driven progress. Almir Amirov, New Time.
However, the global picture looks different. Elon Musk's chatbot Grok has faced bans and investigations over the generation of manipulated and inappropriate images, raising concerns about public safety and child protection. Indonesia and Malaysia were the first to block access, and attention has shifted to Europe. The UK has launched a review, with other regulators closely watching the case. Kazakhstan, meanwhile, has taken a different approach. Instead of waiting for problems, authorities have prepared a legal framework to regulate AI in advance. How the country is staying one step ahead in our next report.
Grok is often described as one of the most free chatbots on the market, but that very freedom has become its biggest controversy. Several countries say the tool is being used to generate harmful content, from inappropriate images to manipulating people's appearances without their consent. Authorities are no longer framing this as a moral issue, but as a matter of public safety, child protection, and digital crime. But experts see a reason for Grok being that way.
Grok'a қатысты дау-дамайдың бірнеше себебі бар. Біріншіден, жасанды интеллект бағдарламасы.
There are several reasons behind the controversy surrounding Grok. First, AI systems are still under development. That means their cybersecurity is also still evolving. As a result, their protection is not yet perfect, and certain vulnerabilities may exist. Second, there will always be people who search for, identify, and try to exploit those vulnerabilities. They study weak points in such systems, find them, and then misuse them. Situations like this, of course, do happen. And third, there is strong competition between major IT companies. To win market share and attract clients, each company tries to make its product more appealing and often attempts to reduce restrictions in order to satisfy users and stay competitive.
Компания нарыққа жағу үшін, клиенттерге жағу үшін өзінің тауарларына шектеулерді азайтуға тырысады.
The AI problem has moved far beyond isolated technical failure. Today, it is increasingly viewed as a national security issue. Kazakhstan is now shifting toward a systematic approach to regulation. This month, the country's new law on artificial intelligence comes into force. Signed by the president, the document introduces clear rules for the development and use of AI. Its core principles include citizen safety, algorithm transparency, and personal accountability for the consequences of neural network systems. The goal is not to freeze innovations, but to legalize and structure technology that has become accessible to everyone.
First of all, it's important to emphasize that the law was adopted before AI became a mass infrastructure. Mandatory risk management procedures have been introduced throughout the entire life cycle of an AI system, from training to deployment and operation, with annual updates of threat assessments and the state's right to require the suspension of AI systems. In addition, a mechanism has been created to maintain a list of trusted high-risk AI systems, along with mandatory audits of such systems based on their functions and the presence of prohibited capabilities. This means that the most dangerous algorithms cannot operate in a gray zone. The state's main objective is not to ban AI, but to ensure safety.
The key concept of the law is a risk-based approach. AI systems will be classified as low, medium, or high risk, each with different requirements for oversight and protection. Citizens will have the right to know when they are interacting with AI, how their data is processed, and what consequences an automated decision may lead to. Synthetic content will require mandatory labeling. Liability for AI-related harm will fall on system owners. They must manage risks, ensure safety, and compensate damages under civil law. In other words, Kazakhstan is building a framework where AI can be developed, but within transparent rules and with real protection for citizens. Experts warn that the main threat is misuse when AI strengthens fraud schemes and undermines trust in information, including the growing danger of deepfakes. The goal, therefore, is not to ban AI, but to make it safe and responsible tool. Similar AI laws and regulatory frameworks are now emerging worldwide. For example, South Korea is set to introduce a comprehensive AI law within a week. The European Union has also adopted the AI Act, which will be implemented in the stages. Under EU rules, companies can face fines up to 35 million euros for using prohibited AI systems. Right now, you're watching me with original audio and video.
But with today's technology, you could just as easily see my AI-generated avatar, or even a deepfake. If such a video is shared without proper labeling, it could be considered impersonation and may lead to prosecution. In our case, we are using this example only to demonstrate the modern capabilities of AI.
This is exactly why AI regulation matters. The law is designed to protect people from fraud, manipulation, and other digital threats, including schemes created by intruders and cybercriminals. Almir Amirov, New Time.
Yerjan Kazakhan has been appointed to represent the President of Kazakhstan in negotiations with the United States on key issues of bilateral cooperation. The decision was announced by Akhorda, citing an order signed by Qasım-Jomart Tokayev. Kazakhan currently serves as Kazakhstan's permanent representative to United Nations Office and other international organizations in Geneva. He has held senior diplomatic posts in 1989, including serving as Kazakhstan's foreign minister, as an ambassador to the United States and United Kingdom. This week, several major projects were announced across Central Asia, with a strong focus on transport infrastructure and energy development. The initiatives include new road and air links, the launch of international transport corridors, as well as a large-scale green hydrogen production project. We will break down these developments in our weekly segment, Central Asia in Focus. Joining me is political analyst Uzet Chegarbayev. Uzet, welcome back.
Thank you, Nurbek. Glad to be here.
Uzet, transport, connectivity and energy security clearly dominated the regional agenda this week. From Kazakhstan's plan for a new highway to Issyk-Kul to Uzbekistan's green hydrogen project, how significant are these developments for Central Asia as a whole?
Well, this project point a broader strategy aimed at strengthening regional integration, diversifying transport routes and investing in future-oriented energy sectors. Let me walk you through the key developments. Kazakhstan has established an interagency working group to implement a project to construct a new highway linking Almaty and Issyk-Kul, which is expected to nearly halve the travel distance to the lake. The group includes representatives from the Ministries of National Economy, Ecology and Transport, as well as the Border Service of the National Security Committee and the Atomic and National Chamber of Entrepreneurs. The new highway is being considered as an alternative to the existing route via Korday and Bishkek, which is about 460 kilometers long. The option proposed by the Asian Development Bank, running through Uzynagach and Kemin, would reduce the distance to 277 kilometers, including 127 kilometers in Kazakhstan and 150 kilometers in Kyrgyzstan. To launch the route, the existing infrastructure will need to be upgraded. Kazakhstan will rehabilitate about 80 kilometers of roads, while Kyrgyzstan will repair around 6 kilometers. The feasibility study is being financed by Asian Development Bank through the grant funding. The countries agreed to accelerate the preparation of the documentation back in December 2024. Also, the feasibility study is expected to be completed by September 2026. It will determine the exact route alignment, road category, traffic forecast, financial model, and potential toll rates. Following its approval, the parties will make a final decision on construction with a public-private partnership, considered as the primary financing mechanism. It should also be noted that both countries are members of the Eurasian Economic Union. Combined with a shorter route, this is expected to boost passenger traffic between Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, support the development of the regional tourism industry, and enhance overall business activity between the two countries. Kazakh airline Flyristan has announced the resumption of flights to Istanbul for the 2026 summer season. Flights will operate from June 18 to August 30 of this year. Aircraft on the Almaty-Istanbul-Almaty route will fly twice a week on Thursdays and Sundays. Ticket prices start from $47. The first direct flight from Almaty to Istanbul was launched on July 3, 2025, and the relaunch of the route in the summer season reflects steady demand for affordable air travel to one of the region's most popular resort destinations. The Republic of Tajikistan is initiating a large-scale project to create a new freight route that will connect the country with key regional partners. The corridor will run through the territories of Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and Iran, providing direct access to Turkey. The diversification of international routes is aimed at strengthening the resilience of the national logistics system. The project is expected to improve the quality of transportation services and ensure stable supply chains in line with existing international conventions and intergovernmental agreements. At present, Tajikistan has already established a solid legal framework for expanding transport connectivity. A total of 54 cooperation agreements in the transport sector have been officially signed with 16 foreign countries. For a landlocked country, this initiative is more than just another logistic project. It represents an important step toward expanding foreign economic ties. The launch of the corridor will mean shorter routes, fewer bureaucratic barriers, and reduced dependence on individual transit directions. Uzbekistan has launched a green hydrogen production project implemented in cooperation with Saudi Arabian company, with a planned capacity of up to 3 million tons of output per year. Green hydrogen production has been launched in the city of Chirchik in the Tashkent region, with the participation of Saudi Arabia's Aqua Power company. The project's cost is estimated at 88 million of USD, and Aqua Power acts as a project initiator. In November 2023, President of Uzbekistan, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, gave the official start to the construction of the pilot green hydrogen facility in the region, in partnership with Aqua Power. At the second stage, the project envisaged the production of up to 500,000 tons of ammonia per year, derived from green hydrogen, as well as the construction of a wind power park with a capacity of up to 2.4 gigawatts. According to the expert assessments, through the efficient use of the alternative energy sources, Uzbekistan may become one of the first countries in the world to produce mineral fertilizers based on a green hydrogen and supply high value-added products to the global markets. Uzbekistan will assist Afghanistan in developing human capital for the mining sector. A technical delegation from Afghanistan has arrived in Uzbekistan to take part in a 28-day training and professional development program. Participants will receive training at the Institute for Advanced Training of Mining and Geological Industry Specialists under the University of Geological Sciences in Tashkent. The program covers modern methods of mineral exploration, safe mining, technologies, environmental standards, and the management of mining projects. The initiative aims to strengthen regional partnership and promote the sustainable development of the neighboring country through the transfer of professional skills and technological expertise. Such steps contribute not only to economic development, but also to political stabilization in the region, opening new opportunities for cross-border cooperation in the extractive sector. It's expected that upon completion of the course, Afghan specialists will be able to apply the acquired knowledge in practice, including in the development of copper, lithium, and rare earth element deposits. Well, and that's all from my partner Bek. Giving the floor back to you.
Thank you, Ujit. Let's continue. Earlier this week, according to an Iranian government official, around 2,000 people are reported to have been killed amid ongoing protests across the country. The demonstrations, which began in late December amid deepening economic strains and widespread public discontent, has grown into the most significant wave of demonstrations Iran has seen in years, as citizens across numerous provinces voice concerns over living conditions and governance. Following an escalation of protests in Tehran, authorities imposed nationwide restrictions on internet access, citing security concerns. Officials say protests in the capital intensified with reports of damage to public and private property. Iran's prime minister later commented on the shutdown, saying that internet services could be restored once stability is ensured. International reaction to the situation in Iran continues to intensify, with global leaders closely monitoring developments in the country. In the United States, President Donald Trump said Washington is following events closely and urged Iranian authorities to avoid the use of force. In Europe, senior officials expressed concern over the humanitarian impact of unrest and called for restraint and respect for fundamental freedoms. Against this backdrop, Iranian officials maintain that the situation inside the country is stabilizing. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said the protest was now under the control, adding that Tehran remains open to dialogue.
We do not seek war, but we are fully prepared for it. At the same time, as I have repeatedly said, we are also ready for negotiations. From January 10th until today, we are in the next phase in which the situation has come under control.
And now to the world news. The US Congress has introduced a draft bill referring to what it calls the possible acquisition of Greenland, arguing that the move is necessary to protect US strategic interest in the Arctic amid growing competition with China and Russia. Earlier, US President Donald Trump said Washington needs to acquire Greenland for national security reasons and did not rule out the use of military force, stating that the United States could take control of the island the easy way or the hard way. The remarks were rejected by Greenland's leaders and by the NATO member Denmark, which maintains sovereignty over the semi-autonomous territory. European leaders have since rallied behind Denmark, stating that Arctic security must be addressed collectively by the NATO allies. NATO's Secretary General Mark Rutte said allied nations are discussing next steps to ensure stability in the region. At the same time, Washington is facing heightened tensions on other fronts, as the United States continues to apply political and economic pressure on Venezuela. Against this backdrop, several US senators voiced a cautious but a firm response on Greenland, saying Congress would seek to block any attempt to military coercion and annexation, warning that such actions would violate international law and require legislative approval.
Greenland is especially strategically important for the US because of its location right on the top of the Earth, right between Russia and the US. So for many, many years, it's been very important in the defense of US national security, primarily against Russia, and that's still the case. I'm surprised about Donald Trump's criticism right now, because what we've seen during the past year is that Denmark is investing more than 40 billion Danish kroner in new military capabilities for the Arctic and Greenland. And one of their main purposes is actually to contribute to the defense of the US national security.
President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev met with Johan Elias, the president of International Ski and Snowboard Federation, to discuss prospects for cooperation. The head of state noted that more than 85,000 people in Kazakhstan regularly participate in skiing and that the country has modern sports infrastructure, including alpine and cross-country facilities. Elias thanked the president for supporting sport and praised Kazakhstan's athletes for strong performance at major international events. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev also awarded Johan Elias the second degree of Order Dostok in recognition of his contribution to the development of the skiing and snowboarding in Kazakhstan.
In recognition of the significant contribution to the development of sports in the Republic of Kazakhstan, President of the International Ski and Snowboard Federation, Karl Johan Martin Elias, is awarded the Order of Dostok of the second degree.
The sides also discussed expanding cooperation in experience sharing, athlete training, coach education and officiating, as Kazakhstan steps up preparation for the upcoming Winter Olympic Games in Italy, which are less than a month away. These games will mark the 9th time Kazakhstan's Olympic team has competed on the global winter sports stage. The Milano-Cortina Olympics will feature 16 disciplines, with Kazakhstan expected to take part in 10 of them. Among them are biathlon, speed skating, figure skating, short-track speed skating, alpine skiing, Nordic combined, cross-country skiing, ski jumping, freestyle moguls and freestyle aerials. The Winter Olympic Games in Milan and Cortina are expected to bring together more than 3,000 athletes from over 90 countries. They will compete for 116 sets of medals, representing 92 national Olympic committees, including several debutants. Kazakhstan is expected to be represented by around 35 athletes. For the final roster will be announced by the end of this month. Let us recall that this year's Olympic will take place across several Italian cities. The opening ceremony on February 6th and the official launch of the Games will be run through the February 22nd. Global renewable energy jobs reached a historic high last year. According to the International Renewable Energy Agency, the clean energy workforce grew to 16.6 million people, the largest number ever recorded. But behind that headline figure, the pace of job creation is beginning to slow. China is a key factor, expanding renewable capacity faster through automation and large-scale manufacturing. Today, this country accounts for around 44% of global renewable energy jobs. Outside China, most new employment is no longer in factories, but in installation, operation and maintenance. Central Asia, including Kazakhstan, remains among the regions with a relatively modest renewable employment, and Irina warns that without strong skills and training systems, countries risk falling behind as the key energy transition becomes more technology-driven. A massive movie event dominated Hollywood earlier this week. The Golden Globes officially launched the awards season, offering an early glimpse of who could lead the Oscars race. The top prizes went to the dark comedy One Battle After Another and Hamnet, a powerful drama about William Shakespeare and the grief. One of the biggest moments belonged to the Timothée Chalamet, who won the Best Actor, beating stars like Leonardo DiCaprio and George Clooney. Golden, the catchy tune from Netflix phenomenon K-pop Demon Hunters, was named Best Original Song. More than 300 entertainment journalists selected two winners across 28 categories, including Best Motion Picture in various genres. Best TV Series for the first time ever, Best Podcast.
Always be grateful for what you have. It's allowed me to leave this ceremony in the past empty-handed, my head held high, grateful just to be here. But I'd be lying if I didn't say those moments didn't make this moment that much sweeter. For my parents, for my partner, I love you. Thank you so much.
Hong Kong will always be a special place in my heart, said Alexander Bublik after winning the ATP tournament in Hong Kong. The Kazakh tennis player claimed the ATP 2050 title after defeating world number 5 Lorenzo Musetti of Italy in the final. Following the tournament, Bublik rose to the 10th place in the ATP rankings, becoming the first male tennis player in Kazakhstan's history to enter the world top 10. As a result, Kazakhstan has joined a group of just 3 countries whose athletes are simultaneously represented in the top 10 of both men and women's world tennis rankings. Previously, only the United States and Italy had achieved this milestone. In women's singles, Kazakhstan's strong position is maintained by Elena Rybakina, who, as of early 2026, holds 5th place in the WTA rankings. Music from Kazakhstan and Central Asia continues to gain visibility on the global stage. Another highlight of the week that reflects this growing presence is the appearance of the Yinglik in a new episode of The Colors Show. Colors is a globally recognized music platform with over 8 million subscribers on YouTube, known for featuring artists from different cultures and musical backgrounds. In the Yinglik's case, the collaboration began when the Colors team reached out to her directly. The filming itself took place abroad and followed the project's signature minimalist format. The selection criteria used by the Colors curators are difficult to define, as the platform brings together artists from different genres and cultures. However, in the singer's own view, the attention of the project's team may have been drawn to her sound and use of the Kazakh language. For her colors performance, Yenilik chose the track People, her debut release and one of the most personal songs in her repertoire. That's it for today. All the main news about Kazakhstan and Central Asia you can find here. More special projects about our country you can also watch on Silkway TV channel. So stay tuned and see you next week.